Okay, so you can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen to this in a still position, you can feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. And just allow yourself to fidget, adjust, stretch, or move in whatever ways feel good in your body. And doing your best to not think about the movements, but more letting your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones, muscles, joints. Maybe some neck rolls feel good, or some cat-cow motions with the spine just opening and closing the heart space. Or maybe it even feels good to take a nice big morning stretch, reaching the arms up overhead and just feeling lots of space between the bottom of your rib cage and your hip bones. Just giving the organs lots of space to breathe. And there's no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. But at any point, if you are feeling ready to come to that still position and you haven't already, then you may do so. Just feeling that the spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. And mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full, intentional, cleansing breath. As you take a long and slow inhale in through the nose, and just watch yourself fill up with air to every corner and edge of you as you just hold that for a moment once you're full, to really experience that sense of fullness. And without straining, as you need to, slowly letting all of that go. Again through the nose. And just gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment to experience that sense of emptiness. And allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. So you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful for you. Just exaggerating the 4 parts of your breath and consciously slowing down this process. So even when you think that you are full of air, seeing if you can just take one more sip into the body, filling up a little bit more, and pausing for a moment longer than you might normally. And then again, exhaling more fully and deeply, and pausing once again. As we consciously slow down the process of our breath. Just communicating to our nervous systems that now is a time to slow down and to release. At any point, if you haven't already, you can release this guidance over your breath altogether. And allow yourself to step back and up in the mind into the role of the observer or the witness. Into that perspective where You're simply witnessing the fact that your body is breathing, rather than having any direct influence over the rhythm or depth of your breath. But remembering how the body does breathe all on its own, even when you are deep in sleep. And knowing that some days this feels very straightforward to watch your body breathing without having any impact over the breath. And other days this feels nearly impossible, so it is perfectly okay wherever you're at today. And just reminding yourself that you are a force of nature, just like any other force of nature out there. And you are capable of watching your body breathe you, just as you would watch the waves roll up along the shoreline. Simply watching, without trying to change anything about the speed or the size of the waves, but just laying back and observing them as they come and go. And taking on that same perspective of observing with your physical body as well, and the muscles in your face specifically. And just letting your awareness rest on the face. And right away noticing any areas of tension gathering, maybe in the jaw, or in the nostrils or the chin, maybe in the eyebrows or the forehead, or maybe even in the ears. And just making a note for yourself of where the tension is gathering today, if any at all. And then from that place of awareness, noticing where the tension is, you can instead allow these areas to open and release and soften a bit deeper, as you simply allow your jaw to hang heavy. You allow your lips to be soft, your tongue to release from the roof of the mouth. And just feeling how all that softness in your mouth naturally allows the same softness to spread outward and upward, as you feel the upper jaw and the ears soften a bit more. All the muscles across the chin and in the nostrils. Feeling all those tiny muscles along your lash line that scrunch up when you squint, feeling those soften as the corners of the eyes get a little bit wider simply by this release of tension. Allowing the eyebrows to soften even deeper as the hairline softens back. And you just feel the full width and depth of your forehead. Maybe almost feeling a sense that the muscles in your face are ungripping from the bones, releasing back into the support of your skin. As you remind yourself that you do not need to hold yourself in any specific way. And it is safe for you to release any tension within your body. and allowing that same sense of release and letting go to naturally cascade down the whole scalp, down the sides of the neck, the back of the neck. As you allow the arms to become heavier, as the space between the shoulders and the ears get a little bit longer. Feeling the hands relax. And feeling all those muscles across your abdomen just resting, supporting your organs. And with each soft breath that your body takes, feeling those muscles almost hugging the organs. Allowing your pelvic floor to be long and wide as you release any further tension in your glutes. And feeling all the muscles down both legs and in both feet, softening a little bit more. Allowing the muscles to roll off of the bones. Again, feeling a sense of trust with the support of your own skin. And just knowing that when you release, when you relax, everything will be held exactly where it needs to be, without any of your doing. Feeling a sense of trust with the support of the earth beneath you and the support of gravity all around you. Knowing that when you let go, you will not float away and you will not be crushed, but you will be held exactly where you need to be. And allowing some awareness to come to the very tips of your shoulders as you allow them to be drawn away from each other, reaching in opposite directions. As you feel the collarbones broaden and your heart step forward and out of that cave-like structure of your chest and shoulders, but letting your heart sit in this proud position. And allowing a slight tuck of your chin toward the heart. So you're really clearing that path between your heart through the back of your neck and into your mind. Clearing the path between your heart and your head. And just tracing the space between your heart, internally up through the throat, into the brainstem, and into the brain itself. Tracing that space back and forth, the internal connection between your heart and your brain. Knowing that your heart and head are in constant communication with each other. And so just fueling that connection simply by being aware of it. And maybe if you feel like your head could use a little extra love and support from your heart, watching as your heart feeds energy into your mind. And fueling that connection, fueling that power from your heart, and allowing it to almost take over the mind a little bit more, or to maybe hug the mind, and allowing all of that compassion, love, and empathy that exists in your heart to feed into your mind and help you wherever you may need it. And maybe even feeling a sense of a heartbeat in your head. Maybe in the space between the eyebrows, or at the crown of your head, the highest point in the body. Or maybe slightly beneath the crown of your head and behind the third eye, that pineal gland. Knowing that there is a pulse that exists here, and just tuning your attention into it. Allowing your sense of trust with yourself and your own intuition to be fueled just by noticing this pulse that is here, all this power that is here right within you. And you can continue to fuel this connection between your heart and your head for as long as that feels helpful and good. But if there is any other body part that is experiencing pain right now or discomfort, you can feel free to internally trace that connection between your heart and that body part. For example, I have a broken toe, so I will be tracing that connection between my heart all the way down through the stomach, through the pelvis, down my left leg, and all the way to my left pinky toe. And knowing that wherever you are tracing, there is an innate connection between your heart and every single inch of your body. If you just imagine your own anatomy and all the pathways of veins and vessels that pump blood from your heart to every inch of you. And just being aware of those pathways, knowing that they are there, knowing that there is a pulse within you that works its way through every inch of you, and letting this be the quiet time where you tune in to your own rhythm and allow all this love, compassion, empathy, and innate connection to whatever source lets our hearts beat, that infinite source of love and life. Knowing that you have a direct line of connection to that source, simply because you are life. There is life within you. So you are connected to the source of life. And allowing all of that love to feed into whatever part of you needs it the most right now. Knowing that all of us will go through periods of time where we forget that we have this innate connection and we are out searching for more love and trying to do things to earn more love in our lives. And know that that is a human thing to do. We will all move through times where we forget. But we will always remember once again. We will remember that it is impossible to earn any more love, because each of us has a direct line of connection to the source of all love. And it would be impossible for you to earn any more than the source where all love comes from. We have an infinite supply, all of us. And so when we catch ourselves operating from a place of lack, where we feel like we're constantly trying to prove ourselves or prove our worth or earn more love from the world around us, you can allow those thoughts to be a cue for you to remind yourself that it is impossible for you to earn any more love. And instead, what we can do is flip that to going out and sharing the love that we already have, tuning into our own unique connection to that love and life, and expressing that and sharing that with the world around us, knowing that that will naturally allow it to expand and grow and awaken within the people we interact with. You do not need anyone else to translate your connection between you and spirit, source, whatever you believe in, God, because you are connected directly to those things, to those sources. And knowing that you can know that and remind yourself of that all you want, and still there will be times where it doesn't feel true and where we forget that. But know that we will always remember once again. It is our truest form. And a very helpful analogy for this is the moon and the sun that comes from Hellenistic astrology. And the moon is the representation of our physical body, while the sun is the representation of our soul, the spark within us that animates our body. The moon does not have its own light, but it reflects the light of the sun, just like our body reflects the light of our own spirit. And there will be times where the moon is full and it is completely illuminated. It is bright and connected to the soul, and it shines light for others in the darkness. And there will be times where the exact same moon is in the darkness. It is not reflecting any light, and maybe it feels disconnected. It's not shining light in the darkness. It is hiding in the darkness. And then there are all the phases in between the new moon and the full moon. And our moon is not supposed to be full all the time. The moon is simply meant to move through these phases. And just like we are not meant to feel whole and bright and connected all of the time, because we are human and we will move through the phases and the emotions of the human experience. And the only thing that all of us can count on is that things change, especially our feelings. And so you can remind yourself of this when you are in a phase that feels dark and disconnected and you feel like you forget your purpose here. You can remind yourself that that is another phase of life. And even though it feels like this is how it's always been and how it always will be, that will never be true. Nothing will always be the same. You are just in another phase, and this phase will change. Every single storm runs out of rain. And so you can allow yourself to comfort yourself however you need to be comforted in those darker times. And just trust that it will be over. And you can also use that as a comfort or permission for you to fully soak in all the light you feel, if that's what you're feeling. If you feel full and bright and connected and inspired, soak it all in and make the most of it. Share your light for others who are in dark spaces. And release any sense of guilt you might have for feeling good when you know that there is pain and suffering in the world. And know that this exact feeling is temporary, and so you are allowed to make the most of it, to have fun, to create the things you feel inspired to create. And to, again, share that with the world you interact with. No matter how much light you feel within you, no matter how much light and life and love you feel right now within your body, within your life circumstances, soaking in as much as you can, allowing this love to take root within you, to soak in deeper so that even when you move through hard times, which you will in the future, we will all move through really tough seasons. You can know that even beneath all the pain that we experience in life, all the suffering that we will go through, you know that there is a root of love beneath everything, even when it's hard to feel. And just feeling a deep sense of trust with yourself and your life and where you are at. Reminding yourself that there will always be a period of time between when we recognize we need to shift or make a change or adjust our life in some way, and when we actually have the power and the resources to make those changes. So being so kind and patient with yourself wherever you are in the process of change. And rather than feeling overwhelmed by things you know you need to do that you haven't done yet, or changes you need to make that you haven't yet, and rather than pushing those thoughts away, allow them to take root. Allow them to be seeds that are planted, knowing that change takes time, especially changes that support our best life, our love, support our safety, and trusting that over time you will create the life of your dreams. And it will take time, and you will get there. Just like every other plant out in the world, seeds take time to grow. And so anything that feels helpful to you, anything that really resonated with you or struck a chord with you today, any words that you heard, just feeling a sense of trust with yourself and your own intuition, and knowing that that feeling when something resonates with you can come when we hear on the outside what a deep part of us already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing those truths to be enhanced within you, so you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition. Knowing that nobody out there will ever know you better than you know you. And nobody out there will ever know what's best for you better than what you know. At the end of the day, you are your own best teacher. And there's nobody who can teach you more about your purpose and your passions in life than what quiet time with yourself can teach you. So just allowing any of these deep truths within you to just grow, to feel more confidence with your own intuition. Knowing that doing what is best for you is the least selfish thing you can do, because it will ultimately be what's best for the ones around you, and will inspire those to, or give permission to the people around you to act on what's best for them, which will ultimately be what's best for the world. And so if it feels like something you'd like to do today, and just let your hands come and find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you feel this contact of your palms and fingers to one another, and allow your heart to lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. As you tune in once again to all this power generated through you. And taking a deep and full breath into the body. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. Taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. Bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.